Haslam is expected to sign the Concussion Bill into law soon, and if that happens, Tennessee will become the 44th state to have mandatory education for coaches, parents, and kids. The goal is to help them spot symptoms of a concussion, symptoms that can sometimes be hard to define. Well, tonight we look at the three main components of the concussion legislation, and we find out, can it really be enforced? Just about every contact sport carries a risk of concussion, but soccer is at the top of the list. At the age of 12, FC Alliance club player Haley McDonald has already suffered 3 concussions.
Nice job.
I had a headache, and I was nauseous and dizzy, and I was bleeding through my nose.
Haley is among an alarming number of kids suffering concussions. According to the state's traumatic brain injury program, the number of young people receiving hospital treatment for concussions has gone up close to 75%. There were 480 reported concussions in 2007 and 834 in 2010. Dr. Rita Westbrook says kids are more vulnerable to the lasting effects of head injuries than adults.
Which was something I was very surprised with, thinking, growing brain would heal faster, but it's not. They have a longer, more complicated recovery sometimes. After
Haley's head injury last season, her coach took her out of the game until she had a doctor's okay.
So it's better to be safe than sorry.
Like many club team coaches, Derek Lubell says he uses common sense in the absence of clear-cut policy on how to handle players' concussion symptoms. He welcomes Tennessee's concussion legislation made up of 3 components to protect young players from long-term effects of traumatic brain injury. The bill mandates any young athlete who has symptoms be removed from a practice or game. It requires a doctor's clearance before the player can come back, and it states that coaches, parents, and children be educated about the symptoms, warning signs, and long-term dangers of concussions through the use of free online training programs for coaches and a concussion symptom checklist like this one by the Centers for Disease Control for school nurses. State Representative Cameron Sexton of Crossville is one of the bill's sponsors.
And so we think it's of paramount importance as you look at what's happened with the NFL and the significance of having concussions and really what that could do at a younger age if someone suffers, somebody as 6 or 7 or 10-year-old.
The Secondary School Athletic Association has a concussion policy for several high school sports, but other sports like soccer, lacrosse, and cheerleading don't have a formal plan in place. This issue not only affects public schools, but private school teams as well, and recreational leagues like this one for kids under 18 that require a fee to play. And it'll be up to the coaches and parents to make sure the policy is implemented. The question is, if a coach follows the guidelines and still misses symptoms in a player, is there liability? Representative Sexton says it's all about the honor system.
What we did, we put in a good faith policy where they're not liable if they just go through the checklist, so there's no liability on their part.
Daniel Scarborough volunteers as a coach for the Powell Middle girls soccer team. He says it comes down to a matter of trust between the parent, the coach, and most important, the young player.
Too far, that's just unfortunately going to have to still be a trust situation between the parents and the coach to know, does this guy have my kid's best interest in mind, and is he putting my child out there in danger, or is he really pulling off,
Kids like Haley McDonald, who've suffered for the game they love, welcome the chance for more protection.
If you have a concussion, then you need to stay out.
Well, the legislation garnered support from the NFL, the Tennessee Medical Association, and the State Athletic Trainers Association. Different states have different versions of the concussion law, some stronger, some weaker, and there are still a few holdouts. West Virginia lawmakers stalled over the inability to enforce the policy. The bill died there last month.